This free kick.
Nobody thought they could make it to the final. But alas, it's like a dream come true for most of these guys. And eventually, yesterday, against all odds, the Golden Eagles of Nigeria made it straight to the final of the Wafu B under 17. A championship going down in Lome, Togo, are beating Burkina Faso by a long goal. And of course, Fatah is elated to have seen his guys in the final, and automatically they have booked their place in Morocco come 13th of March 2021 under 17 African tournament as a qualification for the next under 17 World Cup. The Golden Eagles of Nigeria defied us at getting to the final. Of course, another wonderful edition of Sport Drill right here on Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barry Gonege in the city of Ibadan. The only program that gives you everything Nigerian sport, nothing else but Nigerian sport. For your state, Nigeria as a whole, will give it to you more than you can ever imagine. And of course, in case you are a first-time listener, you are right at a very great place to be. Definitely, it's never going to be a one-man show. So at that time, we dish out interesting news, interesting sporting stories across the nation. Of course, I got my very good friend here, a partner in crime. I call him when it comes to sporting world, not the crime you think is in the sporting world. We kill sport every day, definitely. Eedris Abiola is here. Good afternoon.
Yes, a very brilliant afternoon to you, Raymond. Another time for us to talk sports, local sport, as the case may be. And well, what a way to start the show this afternoon, Raymond. The Nigerian Golden Eagles, what a brilliant performance by the boys yesterday. And of course, don't forget that in the city of Ibadan, I think in the last couple of days, it has been a case of maybe trying to go from one service to the other as regards the late Ajibade Babalade, who was, actually buried yesterday. And maybe quite a lot of interesting things on the show this afternoon. Remember, don't forget that Chan is kicking off today, right there. And again, final window of the FIBA Afro Basketball 2021 qualifiers, don't forget, will now be staged, in February. It will commence, and February 17 to 21 in that one. Don't also forget that it will be hosted in Monastir and Yaoundé, Tunisia and Cameroon, for that matter. And well, according to another report coming from CAF yesterday, we hear that the Super Falcons will now be defending their title, talking of the African Women Cup of Nations title in Monaco in the year 2022. So in Morocco, really, in the year 2020. So a lot of things actually to talk about on the show this afternoon as it concerns a Nigerian sport. So you just said the ball rolling, then we keep talking.
Let's set the ball rolling. Of course, we're going to start from the Golden Eagles first celebration of the Fatama led boys. The power of Nigeria came through yesterday. And against all odds, it was straight to the final of the under 17 African Cup of Nations, African under 17 rather. Eedris, why are you surprised?
Yeah, really, I would say I was surprised because if you look at their previous performances, they've not really been eating the ground. So don't forget that in their first game, they lost that one to the Baby Elephant of Cote d'Ivoire. But of course, in the second game, they drew against the Black Satellite of Ghana. And people were already questioning their competence, the level of the synergy between the players, from the defense to the midfield and even to the attacking third. And the manager came up with series of excuses, saying that maybe because the guys playing for the first time on the continent, they were jittery in the first game, and the second game, well, maybe they play, in fact, he defended them so well in the second game against the Black Satellites of Ghana after they drew one or draw. And he promised that they would give us a superlative performance against the
Against
young stallions of Burkina Faso.
Faso.
And well, alas, we saw that game go down yesterday. Well, it took them quite a long time before they could actually score that goal through Emmanuel Papo. And
In the
after
77th
that,
minute.
but one thing, I mean, brilliant performance for them yesterday. I saw the game, actually, I streamed it. But one thing you would always want to, point out with the way these boys have been playing is the fact that they don't seem to know how to convert chances. That is one thing that
what do you take from a
realized.
team that just, I mean, they didn't prepare?
Yeah, the
I mean, it was
preparation,
just,
the preparation was not there. It wasn't solid. It wasn't fantastic because they had less time to prepare. Barely 2 weeks or like. But I think all in all, they did so well. Consider the fact that they play. Don't forget that yesterday they played against a team that has been scoring on the eye. They had 5 goals already.
Course, yes.
Going into that game, and Nigeria had a goal.
Just a
going
goal.
into that game. In fact, a point. Nigeria went to that game with a point. So all expectations were low because nobody expected them to even score. Even though they are going to score, why
they
do you not
expect
allow
them
them to win the game? And the fact that young stallions have been scoring, we expected that they would score Nigeria. So it now depends on how Nigeria will be able to defend its own goal area. But alas, we saw the Golden Eagles, come out in flying colors, and they just got the maximum 3 points, and they are already through to the final of the WAFCON 17B championship.
And of course, a ticket
to participate in Morocco
come
March later in the year. So fantastic one for the Golden Eagles of Nigeria.
Our power of Nigeria coming through there yesterday for the Golden Eagles. Nobody expected them to be in the semis in the first instance after just getting a point in 2 games against Ivory Coast and Ghana. But then Ivory Coast did Nigeria the great favor of beating Ghana by 3 goals to 1, and on goal difference made it to the semifinals. From the semifinals, defied another odds again, beating Burkina Faso, who have been scoring high and been high flying to get straight to the final. A ticket to the AFCON under 17 in Morocco. AFCON match at 13 this year. And maybe between now and that time, we have the chance to even prepare more. And so, of course, since like the under 17 looks like Nigeria's bad, right? Maybe this is why we have this.
We won the championship in 2001 and 2007, if I'm right. Yeah. And from there, we've gone on even to the world stage
5 times.
So when they refer to us as the 5-time world champions.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. But I think another thing that has actually made Nigeria great in this one is that people have always been saying in the past that we have always been fielding players above the age of 17.
Yeah.
But this time around, I mean, the MRI test was done over and over again. So meaning that Nigeria actually presented players with the rightful age at this point in time, and well, we are through to the final. Maybe this is just our time to prove to the world that look, the ones we have been winning in the past were not fluke. We were there, and of course we are right on track again to win it.
I quickly will listen to the voice of Fatai Amo, who spoke after the match, giving reasons why they qualify for the final. Quickly, let's get to listen to the voice of Fatai Amo.
We want to appreciate our opponents today, the Burkina Faso young boys. Before the game, I knew they really have the players to really win this game. We motivated our boys, that is the Nigeria young boys, that you are improving and go there. We believe you can do it and try all your best, and they did that and we won the game. I had opportunity to say 1 or 2 of their games. They won against Benin, they played against Niger, and we studied it very well. They are very good from the flanks, crossing good crosses with good players who can head the ball very well. They have a very good midfield play, combination play, and that we have to work on that on our defenders. So exactly that's what we did, and we were able to keep them away from heading the ball and shooting the ball across our goal.
No one can beat power of Niger.
We have watched the game. We know what they can do. So I have to tell my defenders, we have to block them from the flanks and not allow them to get into the area. And exactly what we did, and we got the victory. Fatama speaking, it seems like a tactical sort of game yesterday that happened there. Fatama pushing the boys through this time around, and hopefully going to the final against Ivory Coast.
Yeah, I mean, those words were actually coming from the mouth of a brilliant manager who understands the game. He knows what he's doing. Before you go into that game, a game of that magnitude, you have to study your opponent. I mean, he said it that he actually studied the previous games they played against Benin Republic and against Niger, and he saw that okay, these guys, they can play very well on the flank. They win crosses. They have strikers, gigantic strikers who could score from headers and all of that. So he said he had to, rejig his defense line. There was something he did to the defense line yesterday. I said it earlier on that, I mean, the young Stallions have been scoring on the eye. They had five goals, coming into this game. But against the Golden Eagles this time around, they found it difficult to score a goal. I mean, completely. They couldn't. They were not threats yesterday. And meaning that the coach actually did something. Before I even came out to say this, I was even, thinking in my mind that, okay, probably there was, change in tactics. And exactly what we heard from the mouth of the gaffer, Fatayama. So good one for him. I think going into the final come Wednesday
against Cote d'Ivoire, a replay of the first game.
We have been beaten once by the baby elephant, and I think he should just since he was even there, as a gaffer. So I think he will have to do a kind of rejig again to ensure that the baby elephant, do not come near a goal area. But if they do, then the defenders should be up, stand on their toes. I think kudos has to be given to the goalkeeper too. The boy, in the last couple of games, he has been making saves. Even from day one, he has been tremendous. I mean, in this team. So I think the boys are on the right track at the moment, and they should not derail or be distracted by any means. But I think Nigeria will get the better of the baby elephant come Wednesday.
Eedris sounding so confident that come Wednesday, the final of the WAF will be on the 17th championship in Lomé, Togo. Fatama and his boys will become champion. We get the better of the elephants. Well, we wait to see. Until Wednesday, definitely. I'll still definitely come back here on Tuesday to talk more about that. A power of Niger define the odds once again. Okay, we got so much to talk about. That is coming from the under 17, and of course, she got a lot. Just to celebrate these guys, at least they gave some Nigeria something. That was a first win for Nigeria in 2020. I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, despite all the negatives surrounding, their camping and every other thing, we still have something to smile about. Okay, right about now, I'm afraid I think we need to come back to Oyo State. And of course, it happens yesterday. Right here at the Liberty Stadium, Bafemi Awolowo Stadium, and now Liberty Stadium. a former Super Eagles defender, Ajibade Babalade, was finally laid to rest. Age 48. Gone too soon. Age 48 years. Born 29th of March 1972 and died September 4, 2020. He died after a brief illness. Got his profile here. We've got his family also talking about him yesterday. And of course, a lot of ex-footballers were talking about Ajibade Babalade. So we're going to devote some 5-10 minutes for him. He's our very own, definitely deserve this. Ajibade Kunde Babalade. I don't know what memories Eedris have about this man.
Even if you don't want to remember anything at all, you remember the year 1996
when he was captain.
When he was captain of the Shooting Stars Sport Club of Ibadan. You remember that 60-meter shot he took right there at the Liberty Stadium against Zamalek, and which of course they won by 2-1. But unfortunately, when they got to Cairo in Egypt, they
couldn't just keep up the pace.
They couldn't just maintain that, and of course they lost by 2-1, meaning that they had a draw. But of course, in the penalties, Shooting Stars lost out. Again, you want to say that Ajibade Babalade was a member of the bronze-winning Super Eagles
in 1992, Senegal.
So in fact, at that point in time, he was being referred to as the die-hard Arsenal defender.
Emmanuel Kunde. He was named after the nickname. Kunde was a former Cameroon
for nonsense as a defender. In fact, I could remember in 1995, he was a member of the 3SC team again that won the double, the league, and then a cup that year. So a lot of heroic exploits that Ajibade Babalade actually made when he was alive, playing football actively. And in the words of the General Secretary of the Nigeria Football Federation, Dr. Mohammed Sanusi, he said Nigeria football will never forget the energetic and highly dedicated player who defended the colors of Nigeria with so much passion, fervor, and elan. Ajibade Babalade was a complete defender, a leader. Just like we have been saying that in the last few days, Van Dijk, Thiago Silva of Chelsea, he represented what a quality defender
is. You can do everything. You can play with the ball. You can play the ball.
Apart from having the qualities to play the game, he also had that leadership qualities. The way you operate, from the defense line, you coordinate players and all of that. Ajibade Babalade, is so pathetic that we lost him.
48 years of age, so young,
and the football fraternity in the country cannot just get over this in a moment. Of course, this will continue to linger in our minds from now, till eternity, because we will always remember that there was a player called Ajibade Babalade.
Where have you gone now? And now we're going to see your face again. Ajibade Babalade was laid to rest yesterday. God's voices from his families, and of course, ex-internationals as well. For the man who gave his all for Super Eagles, for the Oluyole Warriors, his memories will definitely linger. Let's listen to his wife, Ngozi Ajibade.
I did track and field while I was in America, and my younger brother played.
That is a loving husband and a very care man to his father to his kids. He's a sweet man. If I should do it over again, I would still pick him.
If I should do it over again, I would definitely pick him. That was Ngozi, his wife, speaking. Let's also listen to his daughter, Yemisi Ajibade, who is based in US.
But we know your soul is not in the ground.
Yeah, I did track and field while I was in America, and my younger brother plays football, well, American football. But yeah, I would encourage my kids to do sport. It's a great thing, and I saw the love that he had for it. So I would encourage other people. And
They said great thing about him. But death is inevitable. One day everybody have to go. But we only pray that we go hold. But nevertheless, Ajibade Babalade died at the age of 48. Let's get to hear from his son, his first son, Oluwasegun Ajibade. Pouring out his emotions, talking about his father's legacy and what his father meant to him.
The fun memories, but I mean, especially last year, a lot of things I can remember is me and him just talking about very simple things, about plans for the future, about him coming over and everything, just spending time with him. Those were the times that I really can remember since last year and everything like that. I really only knew him as my dad. Like, I respected his career. It's actually part of his career, part of his perseverance, part of his patience, part of his strong will on the field. He carried onto his fatherly lessons. So I took from that, and that's how I became the man I am today. He's not just a legendary football player. He was also a great and wonderful dad, and a great and wonderful friend, and a great and wonderful person. So if I had to choose a legacy that I would like to continue, it would be his fatherly duties. The fact that he did everything that he could do for his family.
But we know your soul is not in the ground, it's in our hearts. Yes. So
Eedris, talking about legacy, you had his son saying, if I want to, continue legacy, definitely. It has to be the legacy of my father. That shows how important a certain Ajibade Babalade was.
Yeah. Apart from having a cordial relationship with your, colleagues, maybe in your own field, Ajibade Babalade, in his own case, he was a football player, and everybody, just like I heard you say this yesterday on the show when you were, playing inserts, from Ikeshuromo and some other people saying that they were saying good things about Ajibade Babalade, meaning that he had a very good legacy. I mean, when he was alive, he had cordial relationship with everyone he came across. And if you heard from his son saying that if he had to come back to this world again, he would always want to emulate his father. He said that the dad was not only a good father, the dad was also a good friend, the dad was also everything he could imagine. So meaning that Ajibade Babalade actually lived a life worthy of emulation, and that is what everybody must also work towards, because whether we like it or not, you have said it, death is inevitable. Everybody will go one day, but that thing that people will remember you for when you leave is what you should work towards now, so that they will be able to say good things about you, just like they are saying it now concerning Ajibade Babalade, who departed this earth on the 4th of September, the year 2020.
Let's get to listen to some of the ex-internationals. Ikeshuromo spoke yesterday. Joseph as well. Okay, let's get to hear this one from Ikeshuromo.
Because it's a very tough time for me to speak about him. The only time just says that we're so close, it's like a part of my body is gone. Because we always we start as a friend, but we end up as a family, which means we share a lot of things in the family ways, and we discuss a lot. But God knows better, and it's so sad, and so painful that we lose him in a trying time.
We started, that was Ikeshuromo saying about Ajibade Babalade, how painful it was to lose the former DRC manager, our team manager. Okay, let's take this also from Joseph, our former Olympic gold medalist. I'm trying to wrap my head if Ajibade was part of that team that went to, under 23 at the Olympics. I'm trying to figure it out if he was part. I'm not too 1996 Olympics. I'm trying to figure it out. I still can't wrap my head around that.
Sure.
But nevertheless, quickly, let's listen to Adosu Joseph and what he got to say on Ajibade Babalade.
Lost Ajibade Babalade. Ajibade Babalade is a great guy, a good person, on and off the field. But God knows why. But all we need to do is to come out here and give him the last respect. But he's an icon. He's done well. His name will be remembered for life in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the world.
He's an icon. He's done well. His name will be remembered for life. That was Joseph talking yesterday.
On the other side, we go beat my nigga. Yo, I swear I'm not gonna cry to Greg. Better celebrate you, nigga, like you never left. It's the first time I ever heard.
Of course, we got so much. If you start talking about Ajibade today, we got so much to talk about him. Of course, born 29th March 1972 and died 4th September 2020. He was a former Super Eagles player. I played for Super Eagles between 1990 and 1998, made 13 appearances for Super Eagles. Fondly remembered for his time with the Oluyole Warriors, talking about 3SC, where he was at a particular point in time the captain of the team, and of course became the manager of the team as well. Played for Stationery Stores. Started in 1990 with Stationery Stores. Went down to Inwaya with National in 1991. And of course, before coming down to Ibadan, where he had a season with 3SC between 92 to 93 season. 94 with African Sport right here in Ivory Coast. I came back to 3SC again, 95 to 97, where he got to the final of the CAF Champions League in 96, but lost out. He led the team to the final. In 97 to 98, he was at Ayang LG Cheetahs. Right here in South Korean League, the club now named FC Seoul. He went to Storm Graz in Austria between 1998 to 2000. I came back to 3SC again in 2004 before ending his career at the Moham Bagan. That was the final point in his career, 2005 to 2024, 2005. Ended his career at Moham Bagan, a club in India. In 2005, before being appointed as team manager of 3SC in 2008, and count down fast forward to 2021. He was buried yesterday. I died September 4, 2020. May so the rest in perfect peace. A tribute to Ajibade Babalade.
I know that you was watching from above, just smile.
May God just help his family and friends and keep those closer to him to bear. The fortitude to bear that loss.
Prophet, our very own Elijah. I'ma hold hip hop down and keep the fire. Yo, you made everybody dance. What your fans wouldn't give for one more chance, just so they could hear you sing. Molino B, pump, 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 pump with energy. So there is not another, and there will never be the grandest CEO your memory.
There will never be another Ajibade Babalade. But then his children can definitely, keep up the legacy for him and moving forward. Of course, Eedris, I think, like I said, death is inevitable.
Yeah, death is inevitable. And really, just like you have said earlier on, we just pray that God gives the family, the friends he left behind, the fortitude to bear the colossal loss. Really, it's a colossal loss, looking at the legacy he left behind, looking at the exploit he made, donning the colors of the Super Eagles, donning the colors of 3SC of Ibadan. And, if you want to say anything, you cannot say other than the fact that he did well when he was alive. And everybody that has been speaking since yesterday clearly, indicates that this man lived a life worthy of emulation.
Live the life worthy of emulation. Still got so much to talk about on the show. This is 12:32. What about now? We have to switch gears. And of course, switch gear and move to the NPFL. Our first one. And of course, match day 5 will be going down this weekend in the NPFL. But as we speak, yesterday, the real news are coming forward, saying means Abia Warriors, after playing 4 matches, moved away from Aba Township Stadium and moved to Kigwe. You want to ask, what is happening?
Really, the game that Abia Warriors played against Jigwa Golden Stars, in which they lost at home at Yimba International Stadium right there in Abia State, it actually made the management of that team to hold a meeting. And at the end of the day, it was resolved that they had to place the manager and the whole technical crew on ultimatum, meaning that they gave them that you have to win the next 3 games. If you don't win the next 3 games, definitely you will be out. And if you look at the fixtures, talking about the fixtures that they have now, they will be playing away from home to FC
tomorrow,
at home to MFMFC, and away to, I think, Enugu Rangers also in the last game. So, and all of these games, these are games that Lobby Stars. These are games that you don't expect them to win, because we know what operates in the Nigerian league. And I mean, for Jigawa, for FC Ifeanyi, maybe they are not doing too well. So they've only gotten 3 points out of possible 12. So they are not doing well too. But then you look at the form with which these teams are on at the moment. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Yeah, really, I don't know how they want to do it.
But looking at
that playing MFM, I mean, you cannot go to Lagos now and say you want to win it. But the beautiful thing is that they'll be playing at home too. But then they lost to Jigawa Golden Stars, even at home. Maybe that is why they want to go back to Okigwe, where their home is in Umaya.
Or should we say the spirit of Enyimba is haunting them? But they're looking at it, Imama Amakpakabo, since winning that league title with the Rangers, since we have fall down the pecking order, went with Chan, went to Super Eagles, assistant coach with Renetro, it never had an impact. Came back to Abia Warriors. It was given 10 players. The media officer of Abia Warriors said they have never supported a coach like they did for Imama, but then they are not getting the result. After 4 matches, last on the table, 0 points. Eedris, 3 match, the career of Imama is on the line. Or should we say that? But the 3 match ultimatum, Eedris, 2 questions on my mind. Can Imama bring this back? What has happened to his career? And also, do you think it is even the right thing to tell a manager that you have 3 match ultimatum to save your job?
Really, let me start from where you ended. The management giving Imama Amakpakabo 3 games ultimatum to save his job. Really, I think it's too early. I mean, they've played 4 games so far, though they've not been able to win any. And as a result of that, the management, I think they are very, very disheartened at the moment. So they are looking at the possibility of, trying to, bring the spirit back. And all of that, they went ahead to give the coach ultimatum. Really, you may want to say they are on the right track, but then you look at it at the fact, like can we really say Imama Amakpakabo has been underwhelming? His performance has been underwhelming.
Definitely.
So far. I feel they should have just, given this man time. I feel they should have just, because you cannot say because a team is really, they gave them money, they gave them everything they needed to prepare for the season.
It happens.
But it happens. That's my point. It happens. You don't just, for a coach like Imama Amakpakabo, he has won the league before. He has been there for a while. He's vastly experienced in terms of the Nigerian league. I mean, he has even gone on to coach the Super Eagles, been an assistant coach to Coach Genatro. So he has the experience. Only that sometimes this thing happen, and when they happen, you just have to keep maintaining the hope. Being hopeful
that positivity that it will come back.
That it will come back. But then,
That
for
three
Imamba,
matches
I
seems
think-
to be a very big pressure on him.
So
Because
Raymond,
what
the,
if
the question will not be that what if he wins 2
that's where I'm going? What if he wins 2 games?
and then
Are you
he
still going to
loses
sack
one?
him? Or,
Are you still gonna sack
let's
him?
say he win 1,
So
draw
if-
1, and of course lose 1. I mean, are you still going to sack him?
That's the point. That and if you look at the games he has, at
It's
hand,
not going to be
these are
easy.
tough games. It's not going to be easy.
You are going away to Ifeanyi Batumawo,
Ifeanyi.
who is also in trouble as well because you have not been winning games.
I mean,
so
it will not be a case of okay, let's try to do everything we can.
Under pressure now.
Ifeanyi on their own part to be trying to say, look, we cannot afford to
lose at home.
At home to a team that has not gotten any points in the season. They've lost off. They've not even drawn. They lost all 4 games. So Ifeanyi will be like, we are going to safeguard our own home ground, and that is their point. But for Ibama Akpakabo and Abia Warriors now, well, I think the pressure is much already, Raymond. To be frank with ourselves, the pressure is much already.
It's a big one. Maybe we are going to see
the pressure is much already.
I'm going to see the first casualty as soon as possible. With the way it's going,
Fidelis Ilechukwu also got.
I think he's saying he's giving a
ultimatum that they should do what he has requested for. Don't forget, they only won their last game out of 4. 2. So I think something is beginning to change. I think paradigm shift is right there in Atlant. But for
Abia Warriors, maybe it will change or not.
I don't know.
It's definitely going to be tomorrow. We know the beginning. I mean, the beginning of the season for Abia Warriors starts tomorrow when they go away to a certain Ifeanyi. And I'm saying, of course, a rundown of all the fixtures that will go down tomorrow. Akwa United against Wiki Tories. Sunshine Stars are also struggling. Sunshine Stars also struggling. They had a 2-2 draw. I mean, their last match, a very late goal. Lobby Stars thought they've won that game, but then Sunshine Stars had other options and they got that one. So they're playing tomorrow against Warrior Wolves in that one. I mean, to make sure that at home again against Warrior Wolves, Rivers United table toppers against Atlant, who got their first win in the last game. But then Rivers, I mean, they have the confidence. They are top at the moment. 9 points from 4 matches, and of course. I think Asante Gima was saying it was because of fatigue. They lost their last game. But at home this time around, Eedris against Atlant. Atlant shocked the Yimba.
Atlant shocked the That was what I'm saying. Yeah.
But can they shock Atlant? Can they shock Rivers now? Away from home.
I think I'll go with Rivers United. They've been consistent. Only that they play. I think they've played more games than every other team in the MPFL, and that is apparently what the manager was complaining about. They were on the continent. They played games, and they play series of friendly games too. Proud to that game that they played against Bluffington Celtic. So Atlant for Rivers United, they played more games, but I think they would have the edge over Atlant. Atlant, well, maybe you want to say the momentum is coming back gradually, winning against. Of course, if you win against Enyimba, definitely you have the.
I mean, 2 goals to nothing without conceding a goal in that one.
So definitely you have the mind,
that belief, of course,
that we can win any other team in the LPFL. But of course, I believe that Rivers United will win this one because they are playing at home, so they will get the maximum 3 points. Okay,
another big game will be Enyimba against Kano Pillars. Enyimba definitely lost their last game, and of course against Kano Pillars, who is I think third on the table or second on the table. I mean against Enyimba right there tomorrow. A lot of people will be looking at that guy as big. I think that's the biggest game of
Kano Pillars.
Enyimba. Kano Pillars third against Enyimba. Definitely people will be looking forward to that game to see what can happen. Enyimba is playing 10 after, on the table. Played 3 games. Canopy have played 4. 8. 2 points separating both sides. So even that means if Enyimba win, means they can just jump over.
Even with the statistics now, you can even say Enyimba, are better on form as compared to Kano Pillars because they've played. Kano Pillars have played 4 games, only 8 points, and Enyimba has only played 3 games, 6 points. So. Enyimba to me are still the favorites to win this one.
And they are playing at home, don't forget, tomorrow.
So you don't go to the Aba Township Stadium to mess with the People's Elephants.
But Kano Pillars, you won't want to underrate Kano Pillars as well.
Yeah, Kano Pillars are not a bad side either. Don't forget they are third on the log and they've been performing so well. Out of 4 games played, they've been able to get 8 points, meaning that they won
2 and draw 1.
No, they drew 2. Yeah, they won 2, they drew 2. Yeah, and that's why they have 8 points. So they are not bad either. But I think it's going to be a cracker. Of course, we're going to see a lot of fireworks in that one. So we just it's going to be an entertaining game between both sides. But I tip Enyimba to get the nod ahead of Kano Pillars.
Okay, other games quickly. MFM against Enugu Rangers and Nasarawa United against Kano Pillars. Plateau United against Adamawa, of course, like I said. Ifeanyi against Abia Warriors. Lobby Stars. And Lobby Stars who got a 2-2 draw in Akwa will be taking on Dakada. while Jigawa Golden Stars will play in Kwara United. All matches slated for 4 p.m. Nigerian time tomorrow. Quickly, how the table looks like: Rivers United on top, 4 matches, 9 points, lost 1 alone. Enugu Rangers 4 matches, 9 points. Kano Pillars 4 matches, 8 points, third. And Nassau United 4 matches, 8 points, fourth. Dakada 4 matches, 8 points, fifth there. While in the relegation zone, Ifeanyi Ubas 17 played 4 matches, 3 points. Atlant 4 matches, 3 points. Adama United 4 matches, 2 points. Of course, Abia Warriors 4 matches, 0 points. That is how it looks like in the NPFL. Quickly, possibly let us give you the top scorer, how it looks like in the NPFL. Of course, Abia Israel of Rangers United 3 goals. Martins of Lobby Stars also 3 goals. Rabi Ali of Kano Pillars 3 goals. Abubakar Haruna Mohammed of Katsina United on 2 goals. And of course, Ahmed Rashid also of Katsina United also on 2 goals. And those are the top scorers as far as the Nigerian League is concerned. 5 matches played. And of course, fireworks tomorrow across various centers. While we are waiting, while the NPFL is on ground, the big one came up yesterday. Eventually, 30th of January 2021, the Nigerian National League will eventually be back with a sponsor now. Eventually, Eedris.
Yeah, really, it's a big one actually, and one that we have actually been waiting for. Yesterday, the Nigerian National League had its annual general meeting on Friday, 15th January 2021 at Salt Lake Hotel, Abakaliki, Ebonyi State Capital. And of course, quite a number of resolutions came up from that meeting. And one that we can actually pinpoint is the fact that the league will commence on the 30th of January 2021. And don't also forget that also they highlighted at that meeting that there were 4 teams that could not meet up with the registration procedure last season, but due to the fact that season was cancelled because of the effect of coronavirus pandemic, they gave them another chance to meet up with the registration procedures for this season. But unfortunately, one of them, Akajobi,
could not still meet
up, so they had to sell that slot to Osun United. So as we speak, Raymond, Osun United will be representing Akajobi in the NNL, and that is coming from the update that we got yesterday.
Of course, we got the group in 4 groups, Northern and Southern Conference, and of course, 2 teams per group. Did I just say 2 teams? a winner,
47 teams.
1 winner from each group, making 4 teams. We have the chance to get promotion to the NPFL, while we have 4 demoted from the NPFL. And 4 from the Northern Conference, Academy Warriors, EFCC, NAFFC, Oya Sport, Rarara FC, Sokoto United, Aklosen International, Gombe United, Green Beret, Mighty Jet, and of course FC Taraba all made the Northern Conference Group A1. In A2, Niger Tornadoes, Road Safety, DMG, Malufashi, Kebbi United, Yobe Leather Stars, Zamfara United, Kogi United, ABS, and of course Real Stars all made through to the Northern Conference A2. Eedris, seems like a round robin to me.
Yeah, a round robin, because you look at these teams, maybe because we are used to it anyways. But of course, the teams are just so many. And of course, starting from the big one, we get to see go round against Akajobi. Of course, like I said earlier on, it will now be go round against
Osun United.
So stationary stores against Jabila, 3SA against Rovers FC. 3SA are going to be playing their games at the Depot Dino Stadium, at Ijebu. So because the Adama Simba Stadium is still under renovation as we speak. So Dynamite FC against Ekiti United, Delta Force against Vandresa FC, the Lion FC, a team of Bukola Olokwa, they will be facing Inebu United in the first fixture for the Nigerian National League that will commence on the 30th of January 2021. Of course, in B2, We have a Bendel Insurance against BYE, Joy Comet against Gateway United. But I think that maybe, okay, it's another round of fixtures anyway. But I think Joy Comet was in the group of 3SC last season, the season that was cancelled. But this time around, they are not together. So B2, we get to see Bendel Insurance against BYE, Joy Comet against Gateway United, Crown FC against Josie FC, J Atete against Abia Comet, Apex Crane against Bayelsa United, Raymond Stars against Godowski, while Ibom Youth FC will be facing FC1 Rock.
It is that B2 is fire. Bendel Insurance, Crown, Raymond Stars, Bayelsa United, Gateway. I don't know how
big names in that group.
I mean,
I don't know how the fixture was done. Really.
Yes, of course.
Have Bendel Insurance, Gateway United,
you have Crown,
Atete for that matter. And
you have Bayelsa. I mean, it's gonna be real fire in B2. I'm very much interested in B2.
Thank God, Shooting Stars
in B1 seems like I think apart from Van Dresser, who can cause some kind of some kind of
pillars have been here before.
Definitely, but I think it should be a stream role for TKC in B1 definitely. But there's gonna be a big one for Crown to pull the plug right there in B2 because I mean. Bayelsa United most especially, Bendel Insurance as well, who almost got promotion last year.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course, Gateway it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be very, very difficult for Crown FC. You look at a host of teams that are there in that B2, and you want to say what are the chances that Crown FC will get the nod ahead of these teams. You cannot say where is the key that will unlock. That will unlock the likes of
Bayelsa United, Gateway United, the Raymond Stars, and the likes. I mean, it's going to be
it's going to be fire for fire. And should they qualify, Raymond? Should Crown FC qualify? I mean, get that promotion ticket to the MPFL next season. Well, I think they just have to be. It's going to be
a sort of a miracle.
They just have to be. No, anything can happen in the game of football.
Yes, you can say that, but then you look at it. Well, definitely, I know they are preparing. Definitely, maybe before the season starts. I mean, we might just get to speak, possibly with their media officer to see what they are putting on ground to make sure that Crown can also get through to the to the MPFL.
And don't also forget that they have also been enjoying the support from the state government, just like 3SC have been enjoying it. So I think all lands are on deck to ensure that they have a very good outing in the incoming NNL season.
I'll still sports drill professionals 106.7 FM. Like we said, it's everything Nigerian sports, everything Nigerian sports from your state. I mean, to the national level, we give you everything Nigerian sports. This is where to be. Professionals FM on Facebook. Professionals FM on Google Play Store. www.professionalsfm1067.com on our website. Maybe I should just start a bit of opening the phone line. Maybe we got one or two people who wants to say something. But everything we've discussed so far, 090-81-11-1067, 090-81-11-1067, or 080-8010-1067, 080-8010-1067. We are reaching the home stretch, and of course, we got to move to other events right away. The champion of champion wrestling is there, going down in Bayelsa Yenogua, which athletes already stormed Bayelsa yesterday. It got eventually at the end of the day, it got a sponsor. I think we said this, but I think some 2-3 weeks ago, where we said this kind of tournament definitely when it's become consistent, but just about when it was about to start, it's probably just showed up, and of course.
And you want to say that what were they looking before the commencement of the championship? But of course,
you want to give an out of doubt.
Champion of champions is actually a brainchild of the NWF president, Honorable Daniel Igali. He said that he actually did this for the Nigerian athletes to ensure that they keep fit before they, go ahead for international tournaments. And it's a good one for them. Don't forget, everybody converged yesterday at Bayelsa, and athletes, they did their test. Don't forget, also part of the protocols they needed to do, and part of that too was completed. So I think the competition proper will start today. And a lot of wrestlers have been, taking part in, exercise to ensure that they have a good outing in Bayelsa. Don't also forget that, just like you earlier mentioned, I don't want to mention them now. I wanted to mention the name of the sponsor, but
you'll pay for them.
So it's a good one, and we hope that it's going to end up in the eye. Away from that, Raymond, don't also forget that Chan kickstart today. Yeah, Chan start today, but unfortunately, Nigeria is not there. Nigeria
has
failed to
cashed out.
qualify under the leadership of Coach
Imama.
Amakpakabo. We couldn't get to the outing, but of course, we get to see Cameroon against Mali today and Burkina Faso against Zimbabwe. Talking of countries in Group A of Chan 2020. So in Group B, we have Libya, DR Congo, and Niger Republic, while in Group C, Morocco, Rwanda, Uganda, Togo, while Zambia, Guinea, Namibia, Tanzania make up countries in Group D. So it's going to be a good one for this team. But we want to say Nigeria is not there. South Africa is also not there. So I mean, the big one, the big guys are not going to be participating in this one. You want to say what has actually happened to them?
It's not
That's
about,
the question.
It's not about the big guys. I mean, I think at Chan level, nobody is big because
the home base players.
The home base player. So that shows how good your
Ghana
league
is not there either.
That is if you fail in Chan, means
are you saying that coaches should begin to trivialize this competition?
No, it's not about trivializing. It's about you having. I mean, I don't want to put it down to how good your league is, but then it's a factor as well. But then, what is the quality of the players in the league? That is what comes into play. The quality of the players.
That's a big question.
I mean,
that's a big question.
That's what comes into play here. Definitely, Super Eagles will not be part of Chan. Super Falcons will be defending their title right there in Morocco. I think later in Morocco, of course, and of course, so many. Okay, from there we move to basketball. FIBA Eedris.
Yeah, really. Don't forget that the last phase of the FIBA Afro Basketball 2021 qualifiers took place in Rwanda, where the Tigers actually had a fantastic outing. They won all their 3 games against Rwanda, South Sudan, and I forgot the name of the third country. South Sudan, Mali,
Rwanda and Mali.
So the final window for the FIBA Afro Basketball 2021 qualifiers will take place from February 17 to 21. And of course, the bubbles will be hosted in Monastir, that's in Tunisia, and Yaoundé, Cameroon. 2 countries have actually been set aside to stage these qualifiers because of course, obviously, coronavirus.
It was supposed to be in Kigali alone,
yeah.
But because of the COVID-19 there's a change in plan now, just to make sure everything goes well, suitable. I mean, for the Tigers, and of course, I think we expect the Tigers to be definitely qualified,
even without their head coach.
Yes, who is not going to be available. I mean, for it, but then he has other coaches to all.
Meaning that he has a more important assignment than this.
You and NBBF, we talk about that one. I think we talked about it last week. So I think it's down to NBBF. I mean,
and of course, the NBBF, the NBA. They must have signed an agreement. Probably Golden State Warriors.
My hand is not there.
Okay, I only said that.
Before we go on the show, lastly, a bit. Oyekola Scorpion visited the governor during the week, and of course, Seyi Makinde was elated to see the young man, 23-year-old, who became world champion last December 27. And of course, he promised that we're going to produce more champions as far as boxing is concerned. And of course, it was a big one. Let me coach him. I can't promise him a car because
he said he wanted to give him a car. He had a car already.
But then said maybe cash prices can also.
But he didn't disclose that. It's just normal that when you win such a big, belt in the world of boxing, WBF for that matter, World Boxing Federation. Not only that, you fought in your own home ground against an Argentine, Lucas Matas Montesino, and you defeated him. So you just have to pay homage to the governor. He's the governor of your state. And on getting there, the governor was elated, just like you said. He was very happy that during my own time,
a world champion.
It's part of what he also will be saying after he might have left the office, that when I was governor,
we had a champion.
We had a champion.
But the beauty of it is building on that and producing more champions.
Don't forget that they've also been promised since the beginning of their administration that they're going to do a lot of things to ensure that they engage the youth actively in sports, because they believe that when you engage the youth in sports actively, they will have no time for social vices. thereby reducing crime rate in our society. So it's a good one coming from the state governor, and we hope that Ridwan Oyekola himself will go on to be a good ambassador for the youth.
Ridwan Oyekola will go on to be a good ambassador for the youth. 12:56, and of course, I'm afraid it might just be the time to say BYE on the show on this edition of Sport 3. Another wonderful time on the show. It is a very big thanks all the time.
Thanks for having me, Raymond.
And of course, thanks to everybody that have listened to our show this afternoon, anywhere you are in the world, and to our producer, Babatunde Tiameyo. Until next time, when we'll be back on the show, don't forget tomorrow by 3 p.m. we'll be back on Sports Thursday, and of course, it will still be me behind the MIC. Till then, I say enjoy the rest of your day. Have a lovely weekend. I leave you with this song, International Local, Olamide, featuring Tiwa Savage.
More music at nigeria.com.